Health news this morning. Most of us think of athletic trainers as the trained professionals who help athletes with injuries during a practice or even a game. But the work of an athletic trainer isn't really limited to sports. Athletic trainers at Spectrum Health work with area businesses to prevent employee injuries and help workers get back on the job if they have been sidelined by a muscle strain or other injury. The program is called Spectrum Health Orthopedics at Work. Here to talk more about this, sports medicine supervisor Dan Clapper and athletic trainer Adam Leach. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So Dan, go ahead and tell us how this all got started.
Well, in 2011, the Outreach Athletic Training Program began at Spectrum Health, in which we put athletic trainers in high schools. Okay, so that's kind of the more traditional setting. Yeah. Then after a few years, we realized that there was a need in local industrial and manufacturing locations just due to injuries. And so the scope and breadth of an athletic trainer kind of goes beyond the high school and can actually go into the industrial setting. And so with that, we focus primarily on musculoskeletal disorders, injury prevention, and safety programs.
All right. So Adam, go ahead and lay out a day-to-day situation for you. What's your day like?
Yeah, so I'm currently at Weller Remand Center down in Wyoming. So basically I walk in, get my computer all set up, check my schedule, get everybody, from the previous days that I've been seeing scheduled for the current day. Any new issues that have come up, maybe the day before or over the weekend. Like this morning, I'll have a bunch of new ones that maybe somebody slipped or was outside messing around at home and they have some aches and pains that they didn't realize that were going on. So I'll get my schedule set up and then I'll meet with our safety coordinator at Weller and go over any long-term issues that we're dealing with, maybe set up the day as far as what she would like me to do from that standpoint. And then usually I'm going around seeing individuals on the floor and walking around doing some job site visits, doing some ergonomic checks with those individuals and doing some interventions in our athletic training room there.
Great. So why would a business want to invest in something like this?
Yeah, so athletic trainers are a great resource for anybody, traditional setting and or in the orthopedics at work setting. Usually we're trained in orthopedic evals, that general consensus, but when you look at in the industrial setting, we really have a good knowledge of proactive approach. The old kind of view on injuries is the reactive. Someone gets hurt, and then how do you fix that? So taking a more proactive approach is where we're really trained in walking on the floor and being on the floor, finding that root cause for that injury, and then stepping in and maybe coming up with a unique idea to help combat those aches and pains, and then following that up to reduce, myosha recordables, time lost, decrease the claims costs from those, said injuries or sprains and strains.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about what types of businesses. You kind of talked about where you're at, but what other examples do you have?
Well, some of the other locations, it's primarily manufacturing. So, furniture manufacturing, in his industry, remanufacturing of goods, and then also distribution. So anywhere where there's a lot of manual activity, and so there's a lot of physical activity, you're going to find the same injuries that we find on the baseball field, on the football field, and things of that nature. So we primarily focus on the manufacturing and distribution industry.
Well, we always love success stories.
Absolutely.
Do you have any examples for us?
A great example, I was working with an employee. She was having some forearm issues, and she couldn't figure out why. Nothing had changed at work, but during her job, she has to grip and grasp a part that she washes probably 4 times throughout the process, and she does that 20 to 30 times. So times 4, you're looking at 100 times that she's gripping and grasping. But she's also blowing it with air to clean it off. So the biggest thing was figuring out that was the root cause, was the gripping and grasping of that unit. But I had asked them to maybe look at changing up her job location as far as how she has to hold that. Maybe there's a way she can change not having to grip or grasp. So they designed a little hook in the unit itself where she could rest that on there, taking away the grip and grasp part of the job. And ever since then, obviously with some intervention help of massage and non-rigid bracing, she was able to get that to decline, and that was a good thought as far as that goes. So
this
it helped.
Kind of the way they always did things, I guess, right? Yep. So there are probably many other people just like her, but she was the one that actually stepped up, and you were able to help her. That's awesome. So real quick to wrap things up, where else are your trainers?
We have athletic trainers in the traditional setting, locally in high schools, and then also our clinical athletic trainers that work one-on-one with our orthopedic providers. So you can see us pretty much everywhere you go, and so it's a good thing just with the community outreach.
Well, keep up the great work. Thanks so much for
Thank you.
stopping by. Sure, Spectrum Health Orthopedics at Work. For more information, 616-391-2778.